So let's talk about Google's big bet in the AI arms race. And no, I'm not just talking about models like Gemini. We're going deeper. We're talking about the custom-built hardware that's really their secret weapon, the Tensor Processing Unit, or TPU. Right now, we are smack in the middle of an AI gold rush. I mean, the things models like Gemini can do, it's just advancing at a wild pace. But here's the thing nobody likes to talk about, the cost. Behind all that AI magic is just a staggering amount of computational power, which, you guessed it, translates to an almost eye-watering amount of money. So how on earth does a company like Google handle that?
Well, when you're Google and you're facing these just skyrocketing costs, you don't just buy more of what's out there. You take a much bigger, much bolder step. You decide to build the perfect tool for the job yourself. And that's exactly what they did. They invested billions to create their own custom hardware.
And this is it, the Tensor Processing Unit, the TPU. Now, the most important part of this whole thing is that a TPU is an ASIC. That stands for Application Specific Integrated Circuit. It's a bit of a mouthful, but all it really means is that this is a chip designed to do one thing and one thing only: crunch the massive math problems at the very heart of AI. And it's designed to do that one job better than anything else.
You see, for Google, the goal here was never just about being the fastest. It was about fundamentally changing the economics of running AI. They were obsessed with getting the most performance for every single watt of power they used. Why? To lower the total cost of ownership, the TCO, over the long run. And from day one, they designed these things to operate at a massive, massive scale. And, building a chip like this isn't something you do in your garage. It is a monumental global effort. It's like conducting a symphony with specialized partners all over the world, for everything from the initial design to the final manufacturing and putting it all together. It's this incredibly complex global supply chain that makes the TPU even possible. And when I say they designed for scale, this is what I mean. Just let that number sink in. Google can connect more than 9,000 of these TPU chips into one single, massive system they call an AI hypercomputer pod. This is the kind of mind-boggling scale that lets them train and run the giant AI models that power everything from your Google searches to Gemini itself. Okay, so the big question, how does a TPU stack up against the undisputed king of AI chips, the NVIDIA GPU? Well, the best way to think about it is that they're not even in the same race. A TPU is like a Formula One car. It's been custom-built, tweaked, and perfected for one single track, AI. An NVIDIA GPU, on the other hand, is more like a high-performance supercar. It's incredibly powerful and versatile, amazing for everything from gaming to science, and, of course, it's also a beast at AI.
And this table really breaks down that strategic difference. The TPU is that specialized ASIC, while the GPU is a general-purpose workhorse. But the ecosystem is a huge differentiator. TPUs live inside Google Cloud, that's it. NVIDIA, meanwhile, has built this dominant software ecosystem called CUDA that everyone uses. And that leads to the business model. Google doesn't sell you a TPU, you rent its power on their cloud. NVIDIA, they sell chips to, well, everyone, including Google, and you can access them on every cloud. They're playing two completely different games.
But here's where the story takes a really interesting twist. You'd think this is setting up a classic showdown, a battle for the top spot. But it's not. The reality is actually way more collaborative. It's a story about coexistence. And this right here is the absolute bottom line. For Google, and really for the whole industry now, this isn't about choosing the TPU or the GPU. The winning strategy is about using both. And the proof is right here. Google is playing this brilliant two-track game. Internally, they use their own TPUs to slash the costs of running massive services like search and YouTube. But turn around and look at their public cloud platform. They are one of the biggest champions of NVIDIA's latest and greatest chips. They build them deep into their services, and they even run their flagship model Gemini on NVIDIA hardware for some customers. It's all about offering the right tool for the right job for every single customer. So the really crucial takeaway is that this hybrid approach, it's not just a Google thing anymore. It's rapidly becoming the new playbook for every major cloud provider out there. If you want to compete at the top, you need to have both: your own super efficient in-house chip to control costs, and the industry standard option that all the developers already know and want to use. Which all leads to one final big question. We've seen how Google's TPU gives them this huge strategic edge in managing the insane costs of AI. So as AI stops being a nice-to-have and becomes an absolutely essential part of technology, Is building your own custom silicon no longer just an advantage, but the new price of admission to even play in the big leagues? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.